Welcome students. As we have discussed in previous class, the design base shear has to be calculated to calculate the resistance power of our structure, right? So here VB is the design lateral force that is has to be computed using AH into W. AH is the design horizontal acceleration coefficient and W is the total weight of the building that includes dead load and live load. So here already we have know that AH is equal to Z by 2 I by R and SA by G multiplied with this W seismic weight, and we know that Z is a zone factor that is given in table number 3 page number 10 in IS code 1893 2016. Similarly I by R, and here I is the importance factor that is given in table number 8 page number 19, so that you can consider the importance factor of the particular building. That importance factor is divided into three numbers: 1.5, 1.2 and 1. Based on the structure, you have to consider the importance factor. And R is the response reduction factor that is given in table number 9 page number 20. The response reduction factor is considered for the frame structure, whether the structure is provided with ordinary moment resisting frame or special moment resisting frame. Ordinary moment resisting frame is given with 3, value of 3, and special moment resisting system is given the value with 5. Based on this condition, you have to consider the R value, whether it is 3 or 5. And next, SA by G. SA by G is the design acceleration coefficient that is given in page number 9. To consider the value of SA by G, that is design acceleration coefficient, we need to know that time period of the particular earthquake. For that, to compute that time period of the particular earthquake, we need 0.075 h to the power 0.75. Here h is the total height of the building. When it is, we have to consider this formula when the base dimension of the structure is not given, and this formula is concerned to RC frame buildings. And again, TA is equal to 0.09 h under root d. D is the base dimension at plinth level, which is the dimension you have to consider in the direction of force. For example, whenever the structure is considered for the force of x direction, in that case in x direction that base dimension has to be considered. Along the measured direction, the force will be considered. Similarly here, TA has to be considered to calculate this, to know that SA by G value, that is design acceleration coefficient, that is given in page number 9. Again, this design acceleration coefficient of the structure is dependent on the type of soil, whether it is rocky or medium or stiff, that is soft. Like that, we have to consider. Say here, SA by G is given with for rocky soils, for medium stiff soils, for soft soils, right? By knowing this type of soil, by knowing the time period of the particular structure, we can compute the SA by G, right? Once we compute this SA by G, we can substitute this Z by 2, I by R and SA by G, the values. Then we will get the design acceleration coefficient, that design horizontal coefficient, that is AH. Now we need to know that what is W. W is a total seismic weight, and that total seismic weight includes dead load of the structure and live load of the structure, and that is given in the clause 7.4.1 in the code IS 1893-2016. And similarly, the live load is given 7.3 clause number and table number 10 in IS 1893-2016. Let us see that. Clause number 7.3. Right here. Okay. In 7.3, design imposed loads for earthquake force calculations is been given for various loading cases specified in IS 875 part 2. This IS 875 part 2 gives the live load of the structure. Design seismic force shall be estimated using the full dead load plus percentage of imposed load as given in the table number 10. That table number 10 gives the percentage of imposed loads. Percentage of imposed load to be considered in the calculation of seismic weight. So here the live load need not to be considered completely when the floor is loaded with 3 kilonewton per square meters and above 3 kilonewton per square meters. If the floor is loaded with a 3 kilonewton per square meters, in that case we have to consider the total live load on the structure is 25% of the total floor loads. And similarly, if the floor load is loaded above 3 kilonewton per square meters, in that case we have to consider only 50% of percentage of imposed loads. So this will be clear when we start solving the problem, right? And this much is about given with the seismic load for the live loads. And similarly, when we are dealing with earthquake loads, that is dead loads, in that dead load we have to consider the total seismic weight of the structure, that is given in the clause 7.4.1. 7.4.1, the seismic weight of the floor. Seismic weight of each floor is its full dead load plus appropriate amount of imposed load. Here we can note that it is full dead load plus appropriate amount of imposed load. Appropriate amount of imposed load is nothing but we have to consider based on the percentage, that is whether it is up to 3 kilonewton per square meters or above 3 kilonewton per square meters on each floor, right? Based on that we have to consider the appropriate amount of imposed load, and remaining with dead load, that dead load is considered to be full dead load. That dead load includes weight of the column, weight of the beam, and weight of the slab, and weight of the wall if it is considered or if it is provided. Then we have to compute the total dead load of the structure, and then we have to multiply with AH, and this AH into W, that gives design base shear. Once you design this base shear, once you complete the design of base shear, you will get total design of base shear. After that we need to know that for each floor. So for that we have been given with the formula. The design base shear VB is computed 7.6.1, that is VB equal to H into W. After that shall be distributed along the height of the building in plan at each floor level as below. That means, say here, let us consider this structure. Once you consider this structure, once you calculate the total VB, that will be given with this base shear at this point, and how much this force is divided to each floor on the top of the structure, for this floor, for this floor, for this and this and this one. Total floors, how many number of total floors are there, and how much total force is divided to each floor. That is what we have to calculate by using this formula, that is Wi Hi square and summation of Wi Hi square, that is multiplied with again this VB. VB is nothing but Ah into W, and Qi is the design lateral force at each floor, considered floor. I is the, say, consider third floor or consider second floor, likewise. And Wi is seismic weight of the floor I, right? And Hi, height of the floor I measured from the base. Measured from the base in the sense, if you consider 3-meter floor, and for second story it will be 6 meters. For first story it will be 3 meter, and for second story it will be 6 meter, because 3 is the first floor and second one is a third floor. That is, second one is a 3 meter, that is for first floor and second floor including 3 plus 3, that will be 6. That is what the height of the floor I is measured from base. And number of story in buildings, that is number of levels at which the masses are located, that will be given in the problems, right? And this much is need to be known before going to calculate the total design base shear of the structure, right? In next class I will start to the computation of design lateral force based on equivalent static force method, right? Thank you.